Hello, my plant-based bosses. How are you doing? At least most of you watching this are probably plant-based, but some of you might not be. And for those of you who are not, I think that this video should serve as really thought-provoking. And even those of you who are probably should be thought-provoking for you too. Because in this video, I wanted to talk about the link between nutrition and performance in business and just in life. I have another video about why I believe a vegan diet is an essential part of leveling up in life and business. So if you are interested, feel free to watch that one first and maybe then revisit this, but not necessary. But I actually wanted to share a little bit about my own personal story and why I shifted to a plant-based diet and then also to a highly raw vegan diet. And it's really amazing because I lead a pretty clean lifestyle overall, but anytime I have any kind of infraction whatsoever, I notice the difference. And this is one of the first reasons that I even originally started making dietary changes. So many of you know who follow me that I have a son with autism, and early on after his diagnosis, I was doing a lot of research, trying to make correlations and the links and parallels between autism and a lot of other chronic illness today. And if you've never thought of autism in that way, man, you have a lot of research to do because like many other chronic illnesses, even like cancer, any other autoimmune conditions, autism is actually treatable and preventable through a lot of different alternative interventions, one of them being dietary. So I was on this quest trying to find different dietary interventions for my son early on. So as a family, we were experimenting with so many different types of foods. So before even going plant-based, this was like when he was like 2 years old, I first tried the gluten-free, casein-free diet, which is basically eliminating gluten, which is the primary protein structure found in wheat and many other grains. And then also casein, which is the protein peptide structure found in dairy products. And I tried eliminating those things at first for a while for the family. And then whenever I would reintroduce those foods, the biggest effect that I found was not physiological as much as it was psychological. I felt a mental illness, or I'd say I felt a shift in my mental health. So with gluten, I noticed that when I reintroduced gluten after eliminating it, I felt very like heavy and depressed and low energy, kind of like brain fog, fatigue, lack of clarity in my thinking. And with casein, surprisingly enough, I felt like extreme mood swings. Like I remember I would just start crying out of nowhere, wondering like what was wrong with me. And for a while, it took me like days before I realized that I had inadvertently reintroduced casein into my diet. It was actually through a protein powder that my aunt gave me for my birthday, and I didn't know there was casein in it. So there was whey in the protein. So that was when I first made the link that, you know, the whole gut-brain connection. They say that the gut is the second brain, right? So, you know, obviously if you're someone studying nutrition and just overall health, that would be an important thing to know and study. But when we're talking about business performance, obviously your mental state is really important to being a high achiever and a high performer in business and in life. So then ultimately I continued on my journey, ended up going plant-based because all the reasons in my other videos, so I'm not going to go into it right now. And then within my vegan journey, I was introduced to raw foods. And initially, you know, I wanted to go raw for a lot of different reasons, health, weight loss, you know, increased energy. But what I noticed now, having a mostly raw lifestyle for about a year now, is that whenever I eat cooked foods and I have any kind of cooked food infraction, oh my gosh, I just feel so out of it. And it's shocking to me to think that once upon a time, I used to eat cooked foods all the time. Actually, yesterday was a day, like, here's my confession. I ate a lot of cooked food with my son after being totally raw, like 100% raw for 12 days. And we had corn chips, and we melted vegan cheese on top and made like these vegan nachos. And we ate some like cookies and muffins. Like, we kind of went all out. We sort of had a little food fest. And immediately after, I was so tired, I literally couldn't keep my eyes open. It was like knocking me off into a coma. And then when I woke up this morning after a full night's sleep, normally I wake up energized and excited and like raring to go. When I woke up this morning, I was like, ugh, like I felt like I was having a hangover from just eating cooked foods, right? So all that being said, cooked, vegan, and gluten-free foods. So that's what a big difference I feel, just a difference between cooked and raw, because even for many people, they're not eating vegan or gluten-free. And it was both of those things, and it didn't matter. And then I felt bloated. I was having like gastrointestinal issues. And all day I've noticed, you guys, in business, like I've been very edgy. Like I've just been snippety, less patient with people on my team. And after I get off the phone, I'm like, why am I so edgy? Like I'm on a self-assessment, right? Because we have to do that in business. And I'm like, well, what is wrong with me? Why am I so, like, everything's rubbing me the wrong way? Everyone's pissing me off right now. And I realized, oh my God, it was the cooked food. So I just wanted to present this video as an alternate perspective to play with your diet. You know, try eliminating things, see how they make you feel. I actually used to be on psychotropic medication many, many years ago for anxiety and depression. And when I went gluten-free and casein-free, I was able to get off all medication. And it was because I was basically, putting myself in a coma every day with the food that I was eating. And most of us don't have the enzymes in our bodies to break down those peptide structures. If you think about it, especially with casein, what other species on the planet consumes milk from another species, right? If you think about it, cows drink cow's milk. Goats drink goat's milk. Like every other animal on the planet drinks their own mother's milk. You won't find another animal in the animal kingdom who drinks milk from another species, except for humans. We're intended to drink only our mother's milk, but instead we drink milk from goats and cows, and we don't even have the proper enzymes to break that down. So if you know someone either who's suffering from mental illness or someone who's just feeling lethargic, or maybe it's you feeling lethargic, groggy, brain fog, lack of clarity of thinking, decreased energy, not really being able to attend to tasks, stay focused on appointments, connect with people, I highly recommend that you do experiment with your diet, experiment removing the things that I talked about, also experiment going raw. There's so many amazing resources and books online about, and when I refer to raw, I'm referring to a high carb, low fat, raw vegan lifestyle. And there's a lot of reasons for that as well. So primarily eating fruit and supplementing with vegetables, and very, very low fats like nuts, even low on avocados, low on those kinds of foods. And I see a difference being raw on high carb, low fat raw versus like gourmet raw with all of the nuts and the seeds and everything. So hope that this can help bring you some clarity if you're someone wanting to optimize your performance in life and in business. And if you like content like this, feel free to download my free ebook, which you can download at www.leahvitalibook.com. And thank you so much for watching the video. Have a wonderful day.